I will be doing my second market as a crochet artist this Sunday in literally 2 days. And it just dawned on me that maybe I should prep a few more things. Maybe, just maybe, that would be the smart thing to do. So let's get into that. Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor. I'm the founder and designer of NYGC by Taylor, or Not Your Grandma's Crochet. So when I did my first market, I knew that essentially the way the markets work for that particular area is that they have them on the second Saturday and the third Sunday of every month. I think that's how it works out. Yeah, second Saturday, third Sunday of every month. And I knew that I was going to be paying for my markets as I was making a profit from the markets. I wasn't going to be bulk buying a bunch, you know, and I wanted to use the income from said market to pay for the next, you get what I mean. So anyways, after the market on last Saturday, my first one, everyone was like, oh, are you gonna do the one this Sunday, like blah blah, and I was like, yeah, definitely. But I was also gonna be waiting for like my payout, so I was using the actual money from that market, you know. Anyways, so I received my payout on like Tuesday or Wednesday, and so I purchased a spot on Wednesday for this Sunday. And initially I couldn't purchase a spot. It was saying that there were no more spots left. But then when I switched it to being like as a crochet clothing vendor, then there was a spot. So I took it. Cool. Paid my $90. Wonderful. I kind of already went into this week being like, I'm not gonna be prepping a whole bunch of things just because I do still have quite a bit from Saturday and I'm still getting a feel for like what people are enjoying. So I don't really want to like make a big to-do of like, you know, making a bunch of things. Now, additionally, there were some things going on this week that I was just kind of like, I would rather focus on a crochet garment project and not like do all this like market prep type stuff, because I spent all of last week doing that and I wanted to give myself a little break. Anyways, I'm a wee bit panicked right now if you can't tell, because basically today was the day that I was planning to make a few things, but I was still very like nonchalant with it. Like I was like, oh, like, you know, just make a few things, nothing crazy. And then I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw that the vendor had posted something and they were like, all the spots are filled for this Sunday. And I was like, all the spots are filled for this Sunday? Oh. Okay. And it was supposed to be a rainy, not really the best weather type weekend. No longer raining. Right. So then I was like, cool. This idea of being nonchalant with the inventory is suddenly giving, maybe we should be a bit more chalant. Maybe we should be a bit more chalant. So let's kick it into high gear and make a few more things. Now, I don't want you to think that I've just been doing nothing. For instance, I've been working on this bag literally since like last Friday, but I think it looks really cool. It has a slightly different mesh pattern than my other market bags. Also, I had been working on this shoulder bag when I was at the market, so this is nearly done. I just have to do all the slip stitches and then do the tie on the other side. And then I worked on this purple, darkish purple bandana throughout this week. This had been like my purse project. So I haven't been doing nothing, but I sure haven't been in a rush to complete everything, you know? That brings me to what I really want to get done. Essentially, someone gave me a good piece of feedback that they would like to see more dark, specifically black crochet pieces, which makes a lot of sense. I myself really mostly use my black stuff. So I definitely want to utilize my black yarn and make some black hair accessories. That's good. Then I want to make one more white bandana because my white one sold at the market last week. Then St. Patrick's Day, like that's partially why, like the theme of the, what am I trying to say? St. Patrick's Day is partially the theme of the market on Sunday because Monday is St. Patrick's Day. So I want to make a few green things, some green hair accessories, and then a green market bag. That's the main goal. If I complete all this, then I'll work on making some black bags. But I feel like this all is a good starting place because I really do have a full space set up, whatnot, but I do want to incorporate just a few more colors to just widen our horizon, you know? And if you also can't tell, I'm very much so like I've barely had any sips of my coffee and it's 4 o'clock on Friday. This is what I would call when my procrastination realizes it's time to kick into high gear.
So when you test the cake, you want to test in the tallest part of the cake, which in a bundt pan is usually like the cracked area, I guess I should say. Came out clean. This looks great. Actually hear it. Can you hear it? We're doing it on everything. But yeah, it has a tie closure. The straps are very padded. I double padded them, so it has one big strip of padding that I just folded over twice.
And I know just after this I still have to flip them and then sew the liners of them and then put the liners in the bag, so I still have a lot to do, but this is just such a big chunk of the process done. I'm just so excited.
It's later. It's currently 8:25 and I actually got quite a bit done. I finished up this tote bag and it's so cute. I don't know if I talked about it earlier, but it has a slightly different pattern than my regular tote bags. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically there's different ways to like do the mesh so that it has like this nice like stretchy effect while still maintaining its shape. And when I first made these bags, I guess 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, which is in a longer story, but I made 2 different versions with 2 different mesh types, but I kind of ended up just sticking with the other mesh type. And so at the market this past Saturday, my friend bought an OG bag that was actually my mom's, but she was willing to give up for the market. Anyways, so then on Sunday when I saw my friend for coffee, she had brought the bag and I was like, wait, that has a different pattern than what I've been doing. So I brought it back for this one and I actually really like it. I want to do a few more like this to decide which one I prefer. I couldn't tell if this one took me more time. I don't think it actually did, but yeah, unsure. Then I finished this white shoulder bag. I hate that like without anything in it, it's so hard to get an idea of like how they look, but this kind of gives you an idea. It does like actually, you know, take the shape of things, and then this strap stretches out ever so slightly, so it's just like the perfect fit. That kind of gives you an idea. And then I just made a small black scrunchie. This was challenging to do. When I was just doing all the double crochets, I literally, oh, I have something on my nose. But anyways, when I was just doing the double crochets, I literally wasn't even looking at it because it was getting dark. And I just find it easier with black yarn to just not look whenever possible. But then when I had to slip stitch everything together and I turned the light on, oh, it was such a challenge. Anyways, I'm going to go eat something and then get back to working on some more things. No more black for tonight though, because that's pretty hard on my eyes. I'll probably switch to, well, I don't know yet, but we'll see. I have this like, I think it's a pimple on my nose and it is so painful. It's like in the cartilage. But I think it's starting to like come to a head because that's been the main issue. Not that you care. Welcome to the Not Your Grandma's Crochet sleepover. It's currently 10:39. While I made dinner, I worked on this bandana a little bit, so now I just have to do all the detailed bits and my hem and stuff like that. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay up, if I'm being honest. Recently, with like the time change and everything, that's really been affecting me. Like honestly, around this time of night, like 10:30, I'm in bed, and usually I can stay up till like at least 1. So I would like to get at least this bandana done, and then maybe do something with this green or something with this white, but I guess we'll see.
Eastern Commonwealth of New Beijing. I will get more into this later. In this futuristic world, the countries as we know them today are not the same.
Like true sleepover fashion, the girls went to bed. The girls went to bed. I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, I don't know what they put in this daylight savings time, but it must have been melatonin. And not only have I been knocked out, like around 10:30, I'm counting down the seconds before I just knock out. I've also been having, I wouldn't call them bad dreams, and I wouldn't call them like super crazy to where I'm like, what's going on? But they're also kind of like semi-real. Like they'll take place with like things that are actively going to be happening in my life, or scenarios that have happened in my life before, but they aren't the same at all, but they're familiar. That's what I would say. They're familiar dreams. Not, anyways, suffice to say, I made some progress. I did all the single crochets for my additions, and now I'm going in with my slip stitches. Yeah, doing my slip stitches. So I'm just gonna finish this up and then probably eat breakfast. It's currently 9:58, so time-wise we're doing good. I definitely have the energy to get a few more things done. At the bare minimum, I want to get one more bag done, and I'm trying to decide if it should be a green one, but I think it will be. I don't know, you'll hear my thoughts on that later. That's everything. I feel very like more lax. I'm glad that I did decide to get my stuff together yesterday, because I'm happy with what I got done. But there is no but. My brain is like not fully awake, so sorry.
Scarlet, and Scarlet doesn't have any birth records, and he's like, this is probably the lost lunar princess.
Slay. The bandana is done, and I am very hungry, and I have very many thoughts that I will come back and tell you after I eat a very delicious breakfast. It's also currently 10:28, so it literally took me no time at all. What was that? 20-ish minutes to do this. I really like this color. Anyways, okay, it's 11:33. I had a very tasty breakfast aside from my sausage. I'm such a creature of habit, and we have a different type of sausage, and it's too sausagey, if you get what I mean. Like it's like, I know I'm eating meat, but I don't want to like be consciously aware constantly of every bite that I'm eating meat. That's what it gives. So that was an experience, but everything else about the meal was delicious, so I'll survive. Anyways, I started a jumbo scrunchie just to work on throughout the day while I'm cooking or lounging or whatever. But I think my big things that I want to get done is I do want to get done one more market bag at least, and if I have enough of this green yarn, will make at least one more shoulder bag, probably the small size. Then I would like to make that jumbo black scrunchie, a black bandana, and a black headband. Then with the green yarn, I would like to make a small scrunchie, a green headband, and a bandana maybe, potentially. and then a white headband. That's a lot of things. So we'll see. I can also like crochet like at the event, so yeah. I think my biggest thing is another market bag and those black hair accessories. Then after that, the green would just be like a cherry on top.
That she will fetch a pretty penny on the black market, so I'll pay you $20,000. Thorn is like, wow, shit, dick, and balls. What the fuck am I supposed to do about this? Oh, yeah. So Thorn learns that Gina and Jamal are taking Cress to Farah Fra because of this crazy doctor who is, again, trafficking people. Because Anna got bought for the most amount of money. That's insane. During this bidding process, Anna and Mia, Christian's younger sister, are chatting.
Then you feel like animosity you feel towards that character. You should never direct that at the actor themselves.
It is 9:55. I've accomplished some things. I did in fact complete the green market bag. Very slay. Very slay. And once again, loving the pattern on the bag. Loving the handle, loving it. Then I made / finished this black jumbo scrunchie. Scrunchie is literally the size of my face. And last but not least, black headband. I figured I would do a quick black project, and I used up a lot of my black yarn. I'm very hungry. I've kind of like pushed out my meals for the day so I could hopefully stay up a little bit longer. So I'm gonna eat, get ready for bed, and then see what I can get done before I go to sleep. Welcome to night 2 of the NYGC sleepover, night before the market edition. It's currently 11:11. Make a wish. I wish that this market will go very well. Anyways, I've eaten dinner, gotten clean, prepped myself fully for bed, so when I do get tired I can just but in the meantime I do still have some energy, so I think I would like to use that to make a small bow shoulder bag and a white headband if possible. Both of these things are like good things because theoretically, depending on what time I wake up, I should be able to make / finish the other in the morning, like whatever I don't get done. But right now I'm looking for my crochet hook. A common thing to misplace. I find the best way to look for a crochet hook is to literally get up. That I don't really feel like doing, but
and I hate to admit, even though it is a very big brand, you can connect over unlimited breadsticks. Even though, I prefer, just my suggestion, maybe eat at a better place than Olive Garden. So maybe, after this video, you text a friend and ask if they want to get dinner. You stop by your mom's house and make her soup.
Good morning. The sleepover, the girls went to bed. Not that early, actually, probably around 12. But there was like a crazy thunderstorm last night, like lightning and everything. It was actually like really scary. And I was like, I need to get some sleep. And I'm glad I went to sleep when I did, because with everything going on outside, I kept waking up. So if I hadn't have gotten a head start on that sleep, it could have been rough. Anyways, it's currently 8:58. This is the progress that I made on the purse. So I'm just going to quickly finish this up, and then I'm going to try to make a headband. And then I'll get ready, get everything packed up. Oh, I forgot to say, it's market day. I don't know how much I'll be filming, but we'll see. I decided I'm just going to carry this vlog through to the market because why not? So anyways, let's get this done, make a white headband probably, and then get everything situated.
Used to programs like Photoshop that save me a ton of time. And there are some beautiful applications to this technology as well.
How about Tom?
for you.
The 21-year-old who used to love singing along to country music in the car.
Which is crazy because Christian is all like repressed and whatever, and he's like super anti-touching, and yet he's chill with hand-holding. That could never be me and my anti-hand-holding rhetoric.
My second market as a crochet artist was yesterday. It's the next day, and let's talk about it. While my first market, I had no expectations because it was my first one, besides hoping to at least make back my vendor fee. This one, I definitely had some hopes and aspirations that were not quite met. So let me take you through it. So that morning, I didn't end up finishing vlogging, but basically I finished that green bag. I made the white headband, so I was like slaying. I did take a little bit longer to get ready, so I ended up getting there at like the perfect time, but I got there a bit later than I had hoped. I got there around like 11:45ish. Vendors could start setting up at 12 and the market started at 1. Now initially I was going to just go back to my same exact spot as the first market, and that's why part of the reason that I wanted to come a little bit earlier. But when I talked to the person who was over vending, she was like, oh, like, do you want to consider one of these other spots that are closer to the belt line, closer to the entrance of the brewery, and more directly across from Jenny, so ideally more traffic. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, while the lighting is not necessarily as good, it was a little bit darker, I still like the idea of being closer to more traffic. And so my mom helped me set up, which I was very appreciative of. It made it very seamless. And even as I was setting up, I was getting people coming up, asking about things. I was, you know, letting people look at the rack, look at the things that I had on my table, put some videos here of my setup. It was pretty much the same, but I did alternate and put, well, I guess it was technically the same. I was just on a different side, but it was technically the same, so I'm not gonna say that. Anyways, I had like pretty good feelings going into it because I did like the new spot that I was at. I was liking that even while I was setting up, people were attracted to my things. Some people were saying that they would potentially come back. I was handing out business cards, and that was before the place even got started. So color me surprised when it turned 1 o'clock and it's low-key giving ghost town. Now this was a Sunday, which I thought either would meant there would be the same amount of people out or maybe slightly less, but there was kind of dramatically less people. And so after, like, between the hours of 1 to 2, it was giving not too much. People were definitely like coming up, they were looking, they were chatting. A lot of people would be like, oh, like, I crochet too, your work is really cool. I would be like, oh, like, you should follow me on IG. They would scan, they would follow, they would take a business card, but it wasn't a lot of like interaction. Now I will say one thing that I did want to accomplish going into this is doing a better job of like not just being behind the table crocheting, but like if I saw a customer was at the clothing rack, I would actually go up to the rack, show them the detail of some of the pieces, especially these cardigans, because not everyone could see that it actually spells NYGC, and then we would have a cool funky moment. And yeah, in the end, I made no sales. I did not make back my vendor fee, and it was interesting because maybe like a little bit over halfway through, the person who was over vending came up to me and she was like, how's today going? And I was like, oh, you know, like, it's okay, like, it's been chill. And she was like, have you made any sales? And I was like, no. And she was like, then today has not been going good. Like, I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I looked at your setup, you look all good. I'm trying to think in my head what I can do to like help you, but like, I feel like you're in a good place, like you should be getting sales. And I was like, no, like, I feel that, but it just kind of is what it is. I did have 2 different people come up to me and like be like, hey, like, we're hosting these vending events, like, would you want to do them? Which was interesting that no customers. I did get a few requests for teaching crochet. One person who actually followed up on it in my IG, and we're talking about things, so shout out to her. And yeah, it was interesting. There was also more crochet artists at this one. There were 3 for sure that were selling like various accessories and garments. So that was definitely interesting. While it was definitely a bummer to not make back the $90 that I put into this, it was still a great experience. I still enjoyed getting to talk to people in real life about my crochet. I still enjoyed getting to crochet out in public and like people oohing and awing over that. It was still worth it in a tangible sense, though not in a monetary sense, you know? I definitely plan on doing more in the future, but it's definitely a weird feeling. Like, people in my life have been asking like, oh, how do you feel about it? And I'm like, you know, it's chill. And I feel bad because like it makes it sound like I thought it was like a bad experience, but I think it was a good experience. But at the end of the day, the goal was to sell. And did I sell? No. But also the reason why I think I'm chill about it is because I know it's not my stuff. Crochet at the end of the day is a semi-niche thing, and so people are either gonna love it or just kind of like be like, huh. And I'm accepting of that. So well, it was nice on my first one. Started off with a nice little bang, so I felt encouraged to do my second. I am also I still feel encouraged, and I'm glad that I had this experience that I can share with you guys, the full ups and downs. Yeah, like I keep saying, if you are planning on doing one of these as a crochet artist, it is 100% worth it to give your first one a try. And if that one doesn't go well, then keep trying. Obviously, it needs to make financial sense. So if you do not have the finances to keep putting into it, give yourself a little break. Reassess what you might be doing. It also could be the location. There's a lot of different factors that could lead to who's going to do better at one market than another. I found that jewelry and candles and that sort of thing does really well because it doesn't require like you being too particular about things. I mean, people are particular about candles, but people who sell candles usually have a nice variety of candles to offer, and people who sell jewelry have a really nice variety of jewelry to offer. And a lot of times, sometimes the jewelry is handmade, but like the two people next to me, one jewelry person was handmade, I'm pretty sure, and one was not. And the one who was not was selling like hotcakes. But that meant she could offer a lot of different ring sizes, a lot of different options in terms of bracelets and necklaces for men and women. I was understanding why she was selling like crazy. But the handmade girlie was like, So it's interesting because someone came up to me and they were like, oh, like I really love that a handmade vendor is here. Like that's what I want to see, like blah, blah, blah. So I say that all to say, stay encouraged if you are a crochet artist selling and you're not getting sales. While it is important to reflect on things that you can do to improve, sometimes you just have to realize that your market wasn't there, your target audience wasn't there, and that's okay, and that it might be worth trying again. Not it might, it is absolutely worth trying again. And everyone loves a rags to riches story, so at the very least, find ways to profit from your pain. Whether that's posting on social media, sharing those inventory items that you made and adding them to your website or Etsy. There's lots of ways to still attempt to monetize all that effort that you made. Anyways, that's all for me. Like I said, this is definitely not the end of my market journey. This is very much so still the beginning. I do have plans on doing a few more, or more in general, this spring and summer. So if you want to stay tuned on my market journey, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and like this video. Comment below what your experience has been vending at markets, if you have in the past, or things that are holding you back from doing it if you haven't but want to. If you want to stay tuned to more of me, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're interested in my pieces, also ready to ship stuff, you can check them out on NYGCbytaylor.com. That's all for me. Goodbye, you guys.